your thoughts on keeping a 1-to-1 ratio of vertical and horizontal push-pull in exercises. For instance, for every vertical pushing exercise, you should do a vertical pull, and for every horizontal push, you should do a horizontal pull. I noticed that at least in the past, your programs were not necessarily structured this way, and you were heavy on push-ups. I wouldn't say that. I always had a balance of pull-push in my programs. Maybe you're referring to my push-up book, How to Sculpt the Greek God's Chest. So that's a book where I guide you specifically how to do push-ups that focus entirely on maximizing basically muscle tension on your chest. But that's just a technique. That doesn't mean that I'm telling you to only do push-ups. I also have some tips in that book, on how to combine that with pulling exercises. But nonetheless, I would say that this is. I also mentioned this in the previous video, that the only thing you should worry about here is your general pull and push training volume. As long as that's balanced, you're going to be fine. Make sure that you don't ignore horizontal inverted rows. A lot of people ignore those with bodyweight exercise. Don't do like too much pull-ups and no horizontal rows, because that's not going to be good for your posture, for your upper back and all that. So as long as you keep all that in mind, you're going to be fine. Moving on. Tahfif Tusila. Hopefully that's kind of the right way to pronounce your name. Mr. Anthony. Am I a Mr.? Am I that old? I guess so, maybe. I can't find a spot for uphill sprints in my neighborhood. Could I just sprint in flat surface, or just alternate jumping lunges and plyo burpees? So, Tahfif, I would say you can just do plyometrics, the burpees and the jumping lunges, but I would say go for it. Go for sprints. You can do flat surface sprints. That's not a problem. I prefer incline, a little bit better for leg strength, for a little bit friendlier to your knees and all that. I've made a video on this topic. You can watch it above. But yeah, I would say go for flat ground sprints if you can, as long as you don't have like knee issues and stuff like that. Find ideally a soft surface, and if you can find hills or steps, then yeah, go for that. I would say include some flat surface sprints, and you can alter those with the plyometric exercises that I include in my programs. Next, Vegeta 13 says, is including rings in workouts necessary, or will normal bar work and other stuff be optimal for average calisthenic practitioner? So Vegeta asks, do you necessarily have to have rings to do my programs? And the answer is no. You can use bars, pull-up bars, anything that you can practice the basic technique of the exercises on. The reason I like rings lately a lot is just because of the practicality, their flexibility. I take them anywhere with me I want. I can train almost anywhere, and very important as well, they are a lot more friendly to your joints. For pull-ups, especially for inverted rows, for pulling exercises in general, a lot more friendly. If you don't have joint issues, if you're young especially, that won't be an issue. But yeah, if you do have sensitivities with joints, I would say investing in a good set of rings is a good idea. I'm trying some different rings lately. I'm having some new rings sent to me, specifically 2 or 3 brands. So I've tried 2 brands till now. I'm gonna try another 3. I'm also asking other people. I'm gonna do a big review about rings, give you the best value for money set of rings out there. So yeah, moving on. The Guinea 18 asks, is including how do I handle other kind of sports in my training program, like swimming or some sort of fight sports, and need more women to so yes, he asks basically, do women need more time to build muscle? Let's start from the second part of the exercise. Women do need more time to build muscle because you have a lot less testosterone in your body. But the good thing about women to keep in mind is that women recover faster. So one thing to keep in mind there is that you can train a bit more frequent as a woman um, uh, because you recover faster. But yeah, in general, building muscle is a slower progress for women. Most women like that because they don't like being too bulky. What was the other part of your question? Yeah, how do you combine other sports with bodyweight exercise? What I like to do is I like to get my strength workout at first, bodyweight workout at first, and after that I'll do some martial arts. So lately I've been doing some jiu-jitsu 3 times a week, and some boxing on a punching bag. Trying different stuff, having a lot of fun with them. I prefer starting my strength workout with my strength workout and moving on to those. That's a better way to structure it. Otherwise, you can alter, one day martial arts or swimming, whatever it is that you like to do. With aerobic sports like swimming, I would say because they're quite draining, it's better to do those on different days. So if you do like long hours, like a 1 hour swim, definitely put that swimming especially is super exhausting. Have that on a different day. So do 1 day strength training, 1 day your like cardiovascular related workout. You need at least 3 workouts per week for strength, and the other you can train another 3 days doing other stuff that you like. Make sure you rest once a week. It's ideal. Moving on to the next question. So, Darren Rees says, "Hi Anthony, I wanted to ask how do you adjust your training program when you are looking to lose weight and eating at a calorie deficit? Do you lower the sets or train less overall?" So when I'm on a calorie deficit, I actually the first weeks I feel pretty good. I feel I have more energy and strength, and I think this is the case with most people. Like if you notice, not always, but if you notice during the first, especially 2 weeks on a caloric deficit, assuming you're doing like a small caloric deficit, you're not going extreme, you'll have more energy and you'll have more strength. This is because your body is producing more adrenaline related hormones. This is basically what your body does. It's like, okay, food is getting less, so I'm eating less, then I'm burning more calories than the ones I'm eating. This means that I might starve if this continues. So you get more into hunting mode, more into like a flight or fight state. Also your senses are better, like you can be more focused on a caloric deficit, because your body wants to optimize yourself to be better at hunting and gathering food. So that's the case. Your first 2 weeks, you'll notice that you'll have more energy if you're on a small caloric deficit. So after those 2 weeks, if I feel a bit weaker, what I'll do is I'll usually decrease training volume or frequency depending on what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to basically do what works best for me is 4 short workouts per week. If I feel that my energy is low, either that's because of a low calorie diet, or maybe a period that I'm really tired, I'm not sleeping in the most optimal way, stuff like that, or I have to do a lot of other stuff. I hope that covers your question. So just decrease your frequency. Don't train more than 4 times per week, and you can do either 4 short workouts, works best. You can also do 3 big ones, but 4 short workouts work ideally for these kinds of scenarios. Next question by Jonathan Pleban. "Hi Anthony, just curious, what do you think of animal flow style training? I've been following a program called Movement 20XX, which uses animal and other natural movements as part of training. I enjoy the variety and how I'm working my muscles, but not sure how optimal it is for building muscle." So these kind of workouts, they're fun, they're good to do, they're super functional as it gets. But when it comes to building muscle, I don't know this program specifically, but you know, they're not optimal. They're not ideal for building muscle. You will develop a muscle tone if you're not, if you're untrained, especially if you're untrained. But you know, you won't see huge results in terms of hypertrophy. So it is a cool way to stay fit, to train. But if your goal is gaining a lot of muscle, not the way to go. You want more of a bodybuilding, a muscle building oriented program, which is kind of what I focus a lot in this project, especially this year in my latest book, and the video series that I made, the 12 episode video series that I've made, where you can learn everything there is to building muscle with bodyweight exercises. I'm going to link the playlist above. Next question, I think we have another 3. Yeah. So this one is from Chris Tomlin. How diverse should my exercise resume be in the beginning? I've been doing it for about 3 months and see great results. I do pull-ups, chin-ups, dips, and stomach leg raises. I also mix press-ups and wall assist handstand push-ups. Currently, I do this every other day. So Chris, in the beginning, you don't really need a lot of, you don't need to switch things up a lot. You know, I would say start with a rigid program for about 8 weeks. And after that, start making small increases, maybe add a new exercise, maybe add some more training volume, you know, and after that, you can, it's good to make some switches about every 6 weeks. Now, what else did you ask me? Yeah, I noticed that you have no exercises for your legs. So, you know, the exercises you do are good, but make sure that you also add something for your legs, you know. Don't neglect the legs, super important muscle. Maybe some uphill sprints. There's a link above, or plyometric exercises. They're easy to do, and you know, they give your legs a good pump. So yeah, include some lower body stuff and you'll be good. Next question. DrummerLittleBrother asks, is it personal preference to do push-ups with closed fists, or is it better for your joints? So you mean doing push-ups on your knuckles this way? Yeah, a lot more friendlier for your joints, because you know, there's no basically hyperextension. The force is more vertical across your wrist joint. If you work on a lot of hyperextension with your bodyweight training, you know, at some point you might start experiencing some sensitivities. So, you know, either using grips or just your knuckles is definitely a good idea for long-term joint health. Fix Trend says, where is the background? Is it Castoria, Greece? The answer is yeah. How do you know? Are you Greek? Basically, this place, this beautiful place here that you see in the previous videos, especially the lake and all that, is in northern Greece near the Albanian borders. Really beautiful place. If you can, definitely visit it at some point in your life. So this is another question from Bikem, I think, yeah, the same guy from before. Which exercise is the best to get stronger hamstrings and get better at pistol squats? So hamstrings, basically all the exercises like the uphill sprints and the plyo burpees and all those, you know, work your whole legs, because the hamstrings actually and your quadriceps, even though they're sort of antagonistic muscles, they actually have this is like the only part of your body where these muscles work together, like they can both flex at the same time. So you know, either you're doing like stuff like plyo burpees, especially, or even with lunges, you know, you're gonna get a good activation of your whole leg. With sprints as well, because you know, when your foot is pulling the ground to propel yourself forward, that also activates your hamstrings a lot. Now, if you want something more, what you can do is the glute ham, the glute ham, I don't know, the glute ham raise. So this is a bodyweight exercise where basically you have your feet fixed behind you, and like you lower your body. I'm gonna include a picture or something. This is an exercise I don't do because it doesn't work well with my prosthetic leg, so I avoid it. But yeah, it's an exercise that you can do in order to target a little bit more your hamstrings, if that's a concern that you have. And I think that this concludes our questions for today, the ones at least that I found interesting. That was all. I'll be making a new video soon. What else? Hope you are enjoying this nice weather. I don't know about where you live, but in Greece now we have the what are called the alkyonite days. These are days during the winter that the weather is really warm, and yeah, it's super nice to train outdoors. I think it's gonna get cold again somewhere end of this week, but the weather is just perfect right now. It's like spring here, super warm, super awesome to work outside. Is that the right word? Alkyonites? I think it's the same expression because it's basically a Greek word from the Greek mythology. Alkyonites were the daughters of some Greek figure from ancient Greek philosophy, but I think it is a term as well in English. If it's not, I don't know. You tell me if there's a better word for these periods, warm periods that you have once a year usually. Anyway, I don't know. Just blabbing right now about random things. I was just enjoying the sun so much. It's so nice and warm that yeah, I wanted, I guess, to express my gratitude for this awesome weather. Until next time, keep on training. If you're new here, subscribe. If you want your questions answered, make sure you check out my video at the end of the coming month, somewhere around the last week of each month. You can find a comment of mine pinned where you can ask a question as a reply. Like this video, leave me some comments below. Let me know, what are you doing in your life other than bodyweight exercise? I don't know, feeling like talking about more random things today. I'm gonna check your comments within the first 24 hours. I try to answer everybody's comment, so make sure you leave a comment soon if you want me to see it. And that was all. Keep on training.